Welcome back to Escapade, or as the Greeks would say, escapade. What only took us 11 hours to get to the BVIs took us nearly 24 hours on the return trip back to St. Martin. Unfortunately, the wind was coming from our destination, so we had to tack our way there. Anyway, you know it's a good upwind sail when the cats are enjoying it.
I'm having a shower in our bathroom for the first time in like 2 months because Jason installed our new shower pump. But got a new shower pump in here.
It was super easy to install. It was basically pretty much plug and play.
Plug and play.
Plug and play, what did I say?
Plug and pay.
Plug and play. I had to solder and heat shrink the wires, but other than that, easy as.
And it pays to look online if you can get. I know it's really hard on a boat to get stuff shipped, but while we've been in St. Martin, it's been really good to get stuff shipped because we use a freight forwarder, so we can order stuff in the US online and then we send it to the freight forwarder in Miami and then they send it here, and it's a lot cheaper to send here because for starters it's tax free, so you don't have to pay any duties or there's no hidden costs, and then they make the shipping and everything cheaper, I guess, because they don't have to pay tax on that. I'm not really sure how it works, but yeah, if you guys ever come to St. Martin, perfect place to just get everything you need. Or we've also heard US Virgin Islands, you can get Amazon like directly sent there because it's a US territory, I suppose. So
yeah, so that pump costs us online 180 or something like
I
that.
think it was cheaper, 150.
150 plus
and it was
the
like, and
plus
the
shipping 30, so 180.
Yeah, and then here it's like $300 to $400 for the same thing, which is just crazy. So yeah, we saved a lot of money. We can use that extra $150, $200 to get other things that we need. Yeah, so it's perfect. It smells weird.
Is it actually?
Slightly, yeah.
Ah, how good is that?
Okay, goodbye. Alright, we've come to the beach for the afternoon, having a drink. I've got a passion fruit rum, Jason's got a beer, and we brought all the games and we're just going to have a little fun afternoon. But look at this. Having a sunbake. Green iguanas are pretty cool animals. Not only are they solid swimmers, but they can actually hold their breath for up to 30 minutes, which is impressive. They've also got what is called a third eye on top of their head. It's not for seeing, but it detects light and movement, which is handy for spotting threats from above. If a predator grabs hold, they can actually drop their tail to escape, and it does in fact grow back eventually. They can also grow up to 6 feet long when you include their tail. They spend loads of time sunbathing as they're cold-blooded and rely on the sun to regulate their body temperature. We are going to head to Grand Cass today, which is like 3 nautical miles that way. I don't even know which way that is.
East, I guess?
Yeah. We're actually heading there with 2 other boats that we met in the BVIs. And we're going to go check out the little float bar today. So it's like a little pontoon bar, and then it's got like all of the floating lounges all around it. You can have food there and drinks and all of that. So we're going to go have fun today there and then see how we feel for later. There might be one of the beach clubs that's doing something later. We'll see how we go.
I feel like it's going to be a really big night. We're outnumbered with the Canadians. There's 4 of them, 2 Aussies, but by the messages it sounds like it's going to be a pretty wild night. They just seem like loose cannons compared to us anyway, so
we're getting old. We're literally like the same age, but I feel like we're so like we don't do that much anymore.
We're not as party as we used to be in our 20s.
That's a big drink. Is it full? Wow. Athlete. What an athlete. How do we get in now? You're just like taking it out there. Can you make some feels good. Hey, we gotta go to our boat though to get drinks.
No, it's fine. We'll add it to the tab.
The sunset looks sick behind us.
Floor it! Let's go! Floor it! It's fast! Yeah, let's go! Where's the floor? Where's the After a few weeks in St. Martin, waiting on some important packages and catching up on overdue boat maintenance, we were finally ready to start heading south. A good weather window opened up and we set our sights on Martinique, but decided to play it by ear depending on how the conditions treated us. After crossing the Atlantic, I thought I'd be unfazed by these shorter overnight passages, but honestly, it's like I've been a bit traumatised by it all. Now I dread them. Also, staying awake during shift is such a struggle for me, and so this season I've done everything I can to avoid them. But sometimes they're just unavoidable. I think it's the uncertainty that gets to me, the way you feel more vulnerable out there at night. But then we get passages like this one, and it reminds me that Mother Nature isn't always against us. It helps quiet the nerves a bit. Still, I know not to get too comfortable, we'll face rough weather again at some point. It's just a matter of time.
So much sarcasm, it's not even funny. Unless you have to reel it in every 5 minutes, not even.
Yeah, everyone says how good the fishing is over here and it's like impossible to fish.
I don't know if it's a bad year of sarcasm or what, but this is like the worst fishing I've ever done. Like it's not enjoyable at all. You wish you just reel in the line in every fucking 2 minutes.
It's like fly fishing or whatever it's called, but you gotta flick it up and down the entire time.
So frustrating. At least you got a better chance of catching a fish there.
As we sail past Montserrat, you can't help but be drawn to its dramatic landscape. Once a thriving Caribbean destination, the island was forever changed by a series of volcanic eruptions in the 90s. The Soufriere Hills volcano erupted, burying the capital city Plymouth in ash and lava, and reshaping the island's landscape. These days, most of the island is part of an exclusion zone due to the still active volcano, which makes it tricky for sailors to visit. Navigating around the island means keeping a safe distance from the restricted areas, as the volcano is closely monitored but still unpredictable. For those who do make it to the northern safe zone, there are whispers of untouched beauty and rich culture. We'd love to try and visit next season. Even though we had great conditions to keep sailing to Martinique, we decided to head back to one of our favourite islands from our journey north. There were still a few spots we hadn't explored, and I reminded Jace about this beautiful beach we'd quickly visited by dinghy, one we never got to anchor at with a sailboat. I'll be honest, I was also hoping to avoid another night of sailing. But as it turns out, that decision couldn't have been more perfect, and you'll see why soon. We have arrived, and it is crazy. It's like an absolute glass off in here. We actually had like a decent breeze while we're coming in, and then as soon as we've gotten a little bit further kind of into the bay, yeah, it's just literally like a lake. You can see your reflection, even in the dark, basically.
0 knots and
not another soul in sight, basically. No other boats. Yeah, we were just saying it feels like you're being transported back to the Mediterranean, like before the season starts, and you just have anchorages to yourself and there's just no wind. Sometimes, obviously, sometimes there's lots of wind there, but yeah, really, really beautiful. But I just said to Jason also, I'm definitely locking the doors tonight, because I feel like when stuff happens in the Caribbean, it's usually when like no one else is around and it's just like one boat in a bay. So I'm definitely gonna lock up, which I kind of have been doing anyway. So, and the tender's already up from today's passage, so that's good. Anyway, we're gonna enjoy lasagna and watch a movie. I just looked out the window this morning and there's a rainbow. Oh, the birdie was on here. Hey birdie! See you, buddy! I scared the birdie off. Wow. This has to be one of our favourite spots in the Caribbean. Kind of feels like we're more like in the Pacific Islands. It's so peaceful. There's no one around. There's like already more wildlife. We've already had a bird and butterflies hanging around the boat. Just a couple of people walking on the beach and one other boat on the other end of the beach, which we didn't even know it was there last night. But yeah, beautiful. I'll show you. It is now 9:30 in the morning, and I think it's potentially gotten even more beautiful than it was this morning. The sun has come out, it is still a glass off, and I'm just like in awe right now. I think this is probably the nicest morning we've ever had in the Caribbean. It is just like a dream, seriously. You can still see Montserrat volcano over there. Oh, it's just stunning. Jace is having a snorkel. There you go, you can see all the way down to the anchor. And then the beach is getting all lit up now by the sun. All you can hear is bird sounds. Also, you can hear our paddleboard leaking really badly. We have tried to patch this thing so many times, probably about 10 times now, and we just are not having any luck. I think the actual seam is going because we patch one spot and then another spot just goes. So we're up for a new paddleboard. Well, if you're watching this and you or someone you know owns a paddleboard company, hit us up. Thanks for joining us this week. Make sure you hit that like button and we'll see you next week.